All right, let's go. What I like to do about this one here is that I like to go actually it's not too bad. Let's just, he's helping development. I guess we can just get rid of the black square bishop. We'll try like that. Castles, I'll just castle here. He wants to go for an attack already there. We'll go here, attack the bishop. Bishop will already want to go back. Maybe d7, he cuts the queen though, so not ideal. Okay. This is not too bad now. He has to capture with the queen. Now we have knight here, and we have castles. Or we can just go bishop e3 first. Okay, now we're fine here. We're fine because they don't have a last square bishop. We have our knight always protecting h2. I was thinking queen d2, but that blocks my bishop, so I'll probably go here. Bishop e3 prevents this, prevents c5 because you can just capture, and they cannot capture back, huh? Now we have a move that we can use to target a couple pawns. Here, I think I'm fine trading this and play against he'll want to capture with the queen probably. Now we target a couple pawns. We're gonna win a pawn here. He has to go for this move, but it's not that great. I think that was a nice find, just capturing that knight with the bishop, and then my last square knight is there. He has to trade a rook to get a checkmate or something, but too slow, and now I'm targeting these two pawns. You cannot really defend both pawns with one piece. It would have to be the queen here on c6, so he's dropping a pawn. But if I capture this, he can go with the rook. But I can just capture this pawn and then just capture this one with check, so it's not too bad. I think I'm actually going for take some b8. Usually you don't want to capture. Okay. How can I? Wait, I cannot. I can get rid of his queen right now with this move. G3 forces the queen trade. The queen cannot really go anywhere. And I'm up a pawn. So I think this is a good find. Take here. I go for this. And now we are up a pawn. Bishop and knight, huh? So we should be able to win, hopefully. So to bring this up. Knight d3. This forces this push, and I can just capture. Well, if not, then I'll just go here, forward. King there. Can go up here. If king here, I have pawns check, check, and he has to go back. And then I have, well, I guess not anymore if he does that. c4. Then I just have the push on c5. He wants to capture with this pawn, huh? He has to capture with the f5 pawn, but then that allows this. If he captures with f pawn, I probably have this move though, huh? Whoa. That's unexpected. King e3. He has to capture here. If not, I just have c5, and the bishop is not trapped, but yes. I still have this now. Because this bishop retreats, check, king comes here. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Wait, can I just go forward? My knight's always defending that, so... This is a good knight. My knight's defending all the key squares, you know, grabbing this pawn, defending the f2 pawn, preventing the push of f4. Now I just have to infiltrate with my king here. To b5, that's a plan. Go for this. After this pawn, I can just capture this. So it should be pretty straightforward from here, hopefully. We'll see. Doesn't that allow my king to move forward? So his idea is like takes, if king here. But also I have takes, push. If king here. Takes, push. Takes, king here, king here. King here, king. and I go after the pawns. So I think this is a better plan here. Go for the push. We'll have to see if this works. It should work. King here. Have this move. King here, I have this move. Right now he's in Sutswang. So if you guys have seen these videos, this is a good position where, yeah. So the idea, let's go over the game, and we're gonna review in a different way. So usually the way I'm gonna review games here is for those who don't have the membership on chess.com for like to see the game review. So we're gonna be looking in the analysis. So after the game, just put like analysis, and we're gonna be looking at the engine lines and evaluation bar as well. Okay, so hopefully we can learn a little bit about how to review games. When you don't have a membership on chess.com to do the game review for you, right, and look at all the colors and like the book moves and things. If we don't have money, you know, we're gonna review like this. So first of all, we go, and I went for e4, and he went for e6, trying to go into like a French defense. And here I should probably just right away go for d4, right? Control the center, and then after that I can just do whatever. But I went for knight f3, and then here, let's see what the best move is. So after my opponent goes d5, we can see here the top one here. Now it says, okay, let's see, for white, for us, so whenever you see a plus sign in the suggestions, it means that it's advantage for the white pieces. If it's a negative sign, it's advantage for the black pieces, right? So here, the best move would be the top move here. And it depends on, it's up to like what strength we're using for the analysis. I think I'm using a stockfish down one. And I'm going for the, you know, if we want to go for like deeper analysis, then you can like, it can, every time you gotta like let the computer think about the lines and things for a little bit. But this is just like one of the fastest ones here. And it says e takes d5 is the top engine move. And I added a few lines, by the way. So here, usually I think you only have like 1 or 2 lines or so, but you can put like more lines to see like a few more top engine moves. Okay, so I've marked 4. I think that's a good idea. And this will be the top 2 moves here is like e takes d5, so this one, and e5. Those are the top moves. After that, everything will be like a draw. But this is computer-like, right? So it doesn't mean that because it says that it's going to be a draw, that it's going to be a draw. Like people are going to blunder, make mistakes, things like that all the time, you know. So I capture it here, and then they have to capture it back. And the idea is that here, for example, whenever you see the 3 dots, so for example here, let me just review with you real quick. So it's 3, the move 3 would be if white, after the number, so you see like 1 d4, you know, 2 whatever. When it says 1 d4, it means that white pieces move the pawn to d4 or something, right? So whenever you see the notation after the number, it means that it's for white. So it's usually the number, then you see the move for white, then the space bar, or it's a little space, and then you see the moves for black, and then there's another number, and then white, black, right? But for example, if we go forward here, you see 3 ... which means that it's the black pieces, because it's like the 3 dots here, it's supposed to replace the white already move. So now if you have a number and then 3 dots, then that's meaning that it's the black pieces, right? So there's something prior to this move, which will be the white moves. So here they have to capture with the pawn. Okay, d4. And let's try to escape a little bit, right? So here apparently the best move So now if you let it think for a little bit, then it kind of rearranges the top lines, right? Because before at the beginning it showed like bishop d3 best move, but then it was like, oh, let me think a little bit more. Okay, c4 is actually the better move, you know, c4 here. But I went for this, which is still fine. Then knight c6, and it says here just castles. But what I like to go, so h3 is the fourth top move. It's not too bad. But now, why do I do h3? What's my thought process? My thought process is that I want to go h3 to prevent this pin. And then the light square bishop doesn't really have any good squares to go to. It cannot go to f5 because you can just capture it. And if you have h3, it cannot go to g4. So it would have to go to either e6 or e7. And that's why I like to go for h3 here. Because then the bishop is kind of, you know, passive in these squares. So, okay. And here it says knight b4 right away. And now you're seeing like suggestions for the black, like advantage for the black pieces, you know. Like in this position, we're seeing that I will go for this move. And I just give the bishop pair. And I'm okay with that. And here, the black pieces have an advantage. Let's just skip around a little bit. They just give me the bishop pair and the bishop pair back. Not back, but like they don't have the bishop pair anymore. Rook here. I just go queen. It's not even a good move, but I was thinking about bishop e3. But then it's interesting, you know, like I guess I can like bring my queen back. That should have been probably the better play. Bishop e3. Let the computer think. Bishop f4 for them, just to trade the bishops. But, and look at this. I think this was a good idea because for me, if I want to get some advantage here, that's the top engine move. I'd have to take the bishop because any other move, it's still keeping advantage for the black pieces. And it's because his pieces are very active, right? So takes. And here, I like this move though. So this move is still fine. But in the previous here, it's saying that queen a4 is a better move. Queen a4, but then I can just go here. Maybe then I go here. Queen a4, bishop b8, then rook fe1 to trade the rooks. Okay, but here I go for this move. And I think he just went too aggressive with that move. Capture with check. And g3 is the third move. It says to trade the rooks, but here I go for this. Takes, rook fe1. And I just, I guess I can bring my king here. That's another good idea to activate the king a little bit. Takes. Just want to trade everything. And I'll have an advantage because I have an extra pawn. And that's the idea, right? So he should have activated his king, but he didn't. And I go here. I lost my advantage here. What's the best move? And I think like if you have like a decent opening and all these things, it's kind of nice to like, this is more like towards the end game now. This is like an end game. 2 minor pieces, but we're up a pawn. Now we need to convert. And a good idea that I was thinking is like, okay, I'm going against a bishop, dark square bishop, so I want to put all my pawns on light squares. And also the move d5, if he ever moves the pawn forward, I can just captures, and we split their pawns, right? So it's, I thought it was a good move, but apparently like says knight g2 to then like jump here and then have nice squares. That's probably a better approach for the computer. Knight c2 as well, same idea. But I go here. Okay, now we're playing well. King f1. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like king f1 is probably better. But I went king g2, but then they has this move, right? So also the problem with that move is like captures, and then I can just go back again. Or I can just go for the push here with the pawn and try to get rid of all these pawns here on the right side of the board. King g7. King f3, right? So king f3 top move. So right now we're +3 point something. f5 for him. He didn't go f5. f5 makes sense because you're just blocking everything. If I ever push forward, he's good. But now, or a4 as well. I think that would have been a better move for him. After the computer thinks a little bit more, it likes a4 actually quite a bit. He goes forward. b3. Yeah, the idea of b3, you wanna support the push of the pawn on the c file, right? Then f5. Nice. Yeah, should I just go on king e3 here? King e3 makes more sense now that I think about it. King e3 and then just go here, and now we're good. We are cooking. But the problem though is I don't want to like go away so fast because there's 3 pawns here, and somehow he can try to play a little bit better. So I go here, still fine. Takes. F takes. Oh, now he likes h takes, and that's what I was thinking too. I think. Wait. Although it says that h takes is the best move, I kind of like this. You know? And the idea of this is that if I move away, yeah, it allows me to come forward. But I don't know, it looked kind of weird. Maybe he can go forward too with the king, and I was looking at some suspicious stuff, but I don't think it works. So I think we're fine, actually. Takes. Here. Oh, it says f4. f4 check? Doesn't this lose a pawn though? I capture here. Oh, it takes with the pawn. Yeah, it just loses a pawn. I don't know why. But still lost the position for them though. f4 check. He still wants f4 check. What did you think about c5? Top engine move. Yeah, nice. And the idea of c5 is that my knight is very nice. My knight's way better than the bishop. So protecting here, preventing the push, protecting this pawn, and protecting any checks that can come here. Also here. So the knight is way better than the bishop in this position. So yeah, c5. King f6. Yes, he got it. King d4. That's what I did. Yes. King e7. Oh, he just brought this. And it says now it's totally winning. So I was considering king here. And also I think he wanted me to go for takes, and then king here to grab this pawn, but then we allow the king to move forward here. But king c4 is still one of the top lines too, so not too bad. But here he would like c6. Oh, c6. I guess c6 is in Sutswang as well. Oh, that's a nice find, man. Well, d6 works too, but c6, let's check it out. So c6, and then the black pieces are in Sutswang, which means that they don't have any good moves to play. So I would probably consider going here with the king, right? Yeah, so c6, king e7, and I would probably go with king c5. Oh, it says king e5 is even better, because now you just get rid of this pawn. So this here, king here, and this pawn falls. If it pushes, just takes. If it pushes, just takes. That's it. They're in Sutswang. But this is what happened here, d6. And after the king goes to e6, c4. Or, no, c5. c5 is fine. King d7. And I don't even capture the pawn here on b4, although I can do that. But just king d5 just wins the game. And that's what I was trying to explain, that this is the black pieces are in Sutswang, which means that now that I made a waiting move, they have to move their king. So they'll probably move their king either here, here, or here. Because if they ever push their pawns, I can just capture them, right? So they would go to any of these squares. Anywhere they go, I go e6. I don't want to go here. I would want to go here because wherever they go, like, we're protecting. So let's say their king goes here to e8. We push our pawn, or sorry, we move our king to e6, and we're covering the d7 square, so they cannot come back to attack our pawn. So if they make a move like that, we can just capture this pawn if we want. And if they go forward, you can do this again. They go there. I don't know. Or you can even capture these pawns. I think that's probably better. After you just capture this pawn, you allow them to capture this pawn, but you just capture this, the g4 pawn, and then you have two passers. And by the time the black pieces try to grab your pawn here, or like this too, you have a queen, you know. So that was a good game. So we'll try to play some games here and there. I haven't played much. I haven't played Rapid in a while, and I haven't really done any classical tournaments lately. So I need to get back on the grind of online rating. Because lately I've been just playing faster time controls. I've been playing Blitz 3.0. I've been trying to improve on that because I feel like I've fallen behind a lot with my blitz skills. I used to be pretty good and I kind of fell off a little bit, so try to get back on that. But also I think slower time controls are a very good way for me to practice and refine my skills. I hope you like this game, and I'll see you on the next one, because every Tuesday I think I'll try to upload one of these games in the Road to 2300 series. Thank you.